Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored Never Boring. Just a very quick update today to talk about HeroQuest. As most people will know, especially if they follow my channel, Hasbro have been fulfilling backer awards for a little while now, and lots of people are already having fun whacking their abominations in Zargon's dungeon. However, some people are still waiting. Unfortunately, I still haven't seen any movement on heroic pledges. I'm only hearing about delivery of mythic pledges, which are the ones that came with the 2 expansions and the stretch goals. I'm regularly snooping around to see if I can find news on the heroic tier, but I haven't dug up anything yet, and I haven't heard from any heroic tier backers saying they are in receipt of their rewards. Hopefully, more on that will come to light over the next few weeks, if it hasn't already and I'm just missing it. But come to think of it, Zargon has been rather quiet on Twitter recently, although of course there was a big flurry of activity as games started hitting front doorsteps and retail, and it's unreasonable to expect a consistent deluge of information like that, especially if there's nothing much to say. The last proper piece of news was on the 22nd of November regarding an update to the app. Since then, Zargon's been back to his old habits of posting nonsense every other day or so, with his most recent post being today. It's actually quite nice to see him still posting. I half expected him to vanish completely once fulfillment was underway. Nevertheless, I have heard a little bit of news recently. Some of my viewers from Canada have reached out to say they have finally received their mythic pledges. Thank you to anybody who got in contact with me, I appreciate it. Of course, that's really good news, and hopefully it means that all backers from Canada will be enjoying HeroQuest over the festive season. If you are in Canada and haven't received your rewards yet, hopefully, fingers crossed, very soon now. And unless I'm mistaken, once Canadian shipping is complete, everybody who ordered mythic tier pledges should have received them, and then it will only be the heroic tiers left to ship. Next up, a brief word about storage and the plastic game inserts. I've recently posted a video about reshaping box inserts to make them easier to use because the HeroQuest trays that hold the miniatures are rather tight, and constantly putting in and taking out the miniatures could lead to some damage on those miniatures, especially if you paint them. If you're struggling with your insert, you might want to consider reforming the wells so they don't grip so tightly. However, you may actually be looking for a completely new solution, and that's where Feldherr may be able to help. Feldherr make really good custom foam inserts for some of the most popular board games and miniatures games. I have a few of their miniature boxes and an insert for my original HeroQuest. I also intend to purchase inserts from them for Space Crusade and my HeroQuest expansions. As you might expect, Feldherr are going to make a custom foam set for the mythic tier HeroQuest pledges. They have already opened the product for pre-orders on their website for €59.99, and you can also sign up for the newsletter so you get a heads up when they launch the product. I'll include the link to that in this video description for you, but please note I am not affiliated with Feldherr and this isn't a sponsored endorsement. I'm just sharing some information that might help people. And that's it really in terms of HeroQuest news, apart from, very briefly, very reluctantly, I'm going to talk about TseuQuesT, the game formerly known as the HeroQuest 25th Anniversary Edition. I tend to avoid talking about this because it's a very long and complicated story, it's ongoing, it involves a bit of legal wrangling that I am not qualified or brave enough to delve into, and a lot of people are sore on the subject as they may be out of pocket. The long and the short of it is, way back in the dim and distant past of about 7 years ago, Ludofilia ran a successful crowdfunding campaign for a 25th anniversary edition of HeroQuest. As of today, that game still doesn't exist, and nobody has seen a return on the money they put into the campaign. A campaign that, I should mention, was kicked off of 2 crowdfunding platforms before going ahead. Despite serious question marks about whether Ludofilia even had the right to make a game called HeroQuest, they did have a trademark registered in Europe for HeroQuest Classic, and this trademark is possibly a reason why Hasbro couldn't initially offer their version of HeroQuest to Europe during their own crowdfunding campaign. However, on the 26th of August this year, Ludofilia surrendered the HeroQuest Classic trademark, and they have rebranded their game TseuQuesT. It sounds awful when you say it out loud, but when you see the logo, you can see it's actually... yeah, it's just awful. It's a palindrome, but it's awful. My gut feeling is that they just came up with a really quick rebranding that enabled them to reuse most of the logo they already had, because if there was any kind of delay, people might start thinking the project was dead and the game was never going to come out. I mean, I don't know why they would think that. But anyway, So at this point, we know that TseuQuesT, and honestly every time I say that I cringe, it is going ahead with its new branding, and Hasbro is making the real version of HeroQuest available through Europe. That's all good, but here's where things get a bit confusing. In November, Ludofilia released what they claimed was a joint statement from themselves and Hasbro, explaining how they had surrendered their trademarks and that Hasbro would be offering HeroQuest worldwide. The statement also said that people who backed the Ludofilia game could continue to receive that version of the game, or could contact Ludofilia to instead receive a copy of Hasbro's version of HeroQuest, but only one per customer. I don't know if this was a stipulation from Hasbro to protect people who had been misled thinking Ludofilia's game was official, or something done under legal advisement to protect both companies, or I don't know, something else. Because the thing is, the joint statement seems to have been only sent out by Ludofilia, and there's no word of it anywhere in Hasbro's press centre where they communicate news and information for investors. It seems like it's something that should be mentioned there. I have found a single document in Spanish that appears to be in the Hasbro depository for communications, but I found it linked from Ludofilia's notice. It has some weird wording, and I couldn't find it distributed anywhere by Hasbro. Furthermore, if I go to the section of the Game Zone website where there's supposed to be more information on how to change your pledge to receive Hasbro's version of the game instead of Ludofilia's, I just get a message saying I don't have access. Does anyone have access? Is this trade program really in operation? Are Ludofilia responsible for posting out the Hasbro version if people do trade? It's weird. I've really struggled to find any concrete information on the situation, so I've been reluctant to talk about it, but for the sake of completeness I felt I should say something. At this point, what I'm saying is, for certain, Ludofilia surrendered the trademark they had. The HeroQuestClassic.com website has been taken down, they have rebranded their game, and they claim it's still going to come out and you can still pre-order it from their website. And Hasbro are bringing the real deal to Europe. And perhaps that's enough. It's enough for me at least, because I think I'm done talking about it. Let me know in the comments what you think about it all, because that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully, I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.